Hey, welcome everybody to Battle Pirates Crib. Tonight we're going to talk about guerrilla warfare, go through some targets, and discuss a few things that we ran across over the week. Um, let's say hello to everybody. Magic Mike,
Howdy, y'all. Hope you do
Peg
well in
Leg,
village.
Greetings to all the boys and girls out in BP land.
and TSM.
Hey, Alpha World, it's hell out there.
Okay. We'll get to TSM. He's already run through all the targets, the good and the bad of it, and but let's get moving. All right, we've had an interesting. These are actually adjustments to the game, not bug fixes. I don't remember how many times in Discord people would ask, "Does X fire over mountains? Does Y fly over mountains?" And everybody like, "Well, I think so." Well, now that's been included in the stat blocks. And we'll explain a little bit of that later, but basically, if it says 100% mountain evade, it goes over mountains. If it says 100% wall evade, it goes over walls. If it doesn't list mountain or wall, it doesn't. It's blocked by them. If you are the, until they are dead. So that's one thing that's been added, which I think is quite a good addition.
It is. But just a question, what happened to the good old days of testing? When you just go, mate, do me a favor, put such and such on the edge of your base, and I'm going to come in and see if I can fire over the top of it. Because that's what we used to do. I feel like we're getting very much led by the hand.
Now you're going to lose 15 medals, right?
Yeah, but whatever.
Yeah. Well,
you can get your alt base to do it then, because plenty of people have got those. If you're really worried about losing medals, because I don't care about. But we used to do testing. And work out these things. And I know some of the big alliances still do plenty of testing, but I don't want to get led too much by the hands. We're almost given almost every special now for the raid fleets instead of trying to work them out ourselves.
Yeah. I mean, that is true. Besides the medals, as far as testing in general, the fact that there's no way you can, test known unknown. Like with the PVE can't hit PVE, and then all these other things that they've done over time really limits testing as far as things.
Ingenuity's gone, isn't it? I mean, almost it's almost the stage, not quite, because there's a couple of things that you do, but it's almost the stage of like, actually, just give us a ship; it's already built, and it just takes longer to build it. Because that's almost where we are. Like you get 3 ships for the first raid, you get 5 for the second one. Because apart from 2 specials, everything's almost dictated. That's how it feels.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, the second one is they added countermeasure evade to weapon stat blocks that didn't have them before, including built-in weapons, win non-zero. So all this stuff, if it has 0 evade on either mountains, walls, countermeasures, if it doesn't have any, the stat block does not show in the stat block. One more click, Mike. All right, well, you see the. I should have picked an easier one to pronounce, but the tier 10 launcher turret. You look at defense, which is a weird place for it, but that's where they put flak evasion way back when with the early weapons, which sort of made sense, but being able to, it feels more at home in attack or special abilities, but it is where it is, and it's a good addition anyways. And then you see down here with the desecration scattergun has 100% countermeasure evasion. Pretty much all the new stuff I looked at was either 0 or didn't show up, or was 100%. Some of the older stuff you look at as far as countermeasure evasion is like 40%, but recently all the newer stuff is 0, not showing up in the stat block, or 100%. So I think it's a good fix. As far as making us figure it out on ourselves, I don't know. And some of this stuff is, I like to have as much information as possible about the about a prize before I claim it, especially if it's iffy. So I like having more rather than less information in the blueprints. I still wish we could get projectile speed on our built-in weapons. That hasn't shown up. So okay, if we're done with bug fixes. Right now we are in Guerrilla Warfare. We have Hold the Line TLC, which is active right now. If you're caught up on the game, the best reason to do that is the three-day defense turret tokens, which will allow you to speed up your turret bases. Even if you have them all done for the next OP, you'll be ahead of the game. It has a limit of 10. And then there's Harlock's Vanguard, which will start in 3 hours. I think about 3 hours. Once all of the worlds are in the raid, and this provides you with raid points. Normally, it's a happy break from the grind of doing the same 2 targets all the time, and provides you with a decent amount of raid points. So, okay, and then next week we have the new FM, which is going to last for a week longer than normal, which will help you get your Harbingers built. VXP Weekend, Feral Beast, TLC, which is a new one, which is going to be for the Badger. And then stuff we've seen before, Bounty. Then we have Foreboding Seas, which is for the current ship that we're trying to win right now, which is the Harbinger. And then we sort of have a special week with the beach party, and the following week will be Pillage. Okay. If nobody has any comments on the calendar?
No changes from Wednesday.
Yep, that's true.
I like that holster. That's all. Okay.
Okay. All right. Here's something is live in the game for about a week or so. These are Garrison Tier 10 Garrison armors. These are going to be for the next generation of the Everest. If you take a look at them, you'll notice that they have a buff to penetrative damage, not explosive, which we've seen before. Healthy increase in survival and the increase of splash damage reduction. The actual survival to weight is about 60% of what it was with the previous armors that we had for the Everest. But I'm assuming we're going to get a healthy weight limit jump. And I know I don't know. I talked about it on the Friday show and about a month before that I thought there was a chance that we would see missiles as the next Garrison haul. And some people disagreed with me. You want to click, Mike?
I don't know. Chances are the next one's probably going to be rockets. Yep.
Could be missiles, though.
Rockets.
Could be missiles.
When's the last Garrison missile we had?
Well, it's an available option. It's penetrative and explosive.
I'll pay for your penetrative Garrison fleet if that comes out.
Okay.
Quote.
Somebody timestamp this for future.
That said,
Okay, you can close it. Alrighty. So
UAV comment while we're at it.
what?
Cut off my UAV comments while we're at it.
Well, I could have let it go for the rest of the show, but yeah. But yeah, these are out there. We have no idea when they're going to drop. It doesn't appear that they're going to drop in this raid.
They were not intended to be out there either, from everything I've gathered. Somebody made a mistake.
Yeah, so Pillage would be the first opportunity I would see that they would drop, because I don't see any TLCs out there that look like they are,
Beach party? You don't think they'd work that into there, do you?
No,
They're not
because
supposed to, based on how that works. But
I wouldn't see it in Beach Party. It is odd that it's dropped so early, because it's basically a month before they could actually drop. So these stats could change a lot. They could change their mind. They could have just listened to the Friday show and decided to mess with Derpy and drop these into the live game.
it could be payback for the cartoonish art of his poster that won.
There we go. He got the 5 days of free tokens, and now he has to buy me a new penetrative Garrison fleet. So
there you go.
It all works out at the end.
Tinfoil hats are free, everyone. Get in line.
Yep. So FM maybe? No, we're going to get to what the FM prize is. We know what that is. So we'll see that pretty quickly. So let's move on. All right, guerrilla warfare. All right, here's the store. We have the Harbinger, which is the newest of our newest haul, which we'll talk about and go into more detail later. And the newer network engine, which everybody should have gotten in pillage. You could have claimed 5 of them. That's all we need. You don't need any more. So do not, unless you got a lot of extra points and nothing to do with them, I would not claim them if you already have 5. And then we're going to discuss the different specials. If you see the Omen Gatling gun, we're going to get into why, but since the release, they've gone from 10 available at 2.25 million to 12 at 2.15 million, and we're going to get into that in a second because that's sort of somewhat important. At least they're making moves to make everything whole again. The damage diffusion system, the upgrade kits, and then the Badger and Abomination if you don't have them maxed. But besides that, is there that much in the store that you think people ought to be grabbing up?
Only maybe some tokens. I think it's quite a chill one, this one, to be honest, because the fleet seems strong. The targets seem okay. You don't need those if you've done the pillage bit and you got those 5 engines. Then quite reasonable.
Which tokens were you thinking of? Because I didn't run across any tokens where I'm like, I need that.
No, there's nothing you need, but there are a couple of things that somebody might want. It's just, and if that's the same, if you want the tokens, then there are a few there to collect, but there's nothing that really sort of is going to rock your world.
There's a couple defender tokens. There's a couple structure
small
tokens.
Things,
There's 1 structure token and 2 defender tokens. So yeah.
And if you happen to have like a reclaimer that you didn't get one of them to X1, there's 10 tokens in there available to help get your last ship up the rest of the way if you've got the points and time.
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
Okay, well, let's move on. All right, the targets. We have an S set of the 174, 176. The 174 looks, if you have X1, looks, what's the word would you use for it, TSM? Quite approachable?
I say it's sweet.
All righty.
Yeah, a sweet target.
You were able to do it with again, X1. So people may not get the same results without X1. Mm-hmm. You were able to hit it for less than 3 minutes driving and then 15 minutes on auto.
Yeah. My first go. I mean, they are new targets. They do look different, So, but yeah, it is 2:30, I think it was, or something like that, wasn't it? For the first one, I was like, blimmin' heck, I was quite astounded. And then I let it auto. Obviously, entry point's always the same anyway, because it's fixed on both targets. Interestingly, so this 174 and 176 have a fixed entry point. It doesn't matter which way you go in. But yeah, so 174 really surprised. Yeah, 2.5 minutes driving, and I did take my time, I have to say, because I was trying to work out where certain bits in the target were, obviously. And then just let it auto the second time round, and 15 minutes. It was the AI was good. The fleet stayed bunched. They went through the target sensibly and that sort of stuff, and it was reasonably quick. So I think you could probably, if you're on X1, I think you could probably get 20 done before you go and fix your fleet. if you chose to do it that way. Those that still got the BP app, maybe some of you still have. You can probably do a good stack of those at work for over a couple of hours and then fix, and you'll be ready to when you're back home just to do the next ones up. So good news.
Yeah, and the 176 was seemed reasonable as well.
Yeah, I can't remember off the top of my
9
head. Yeah, was that 22 minutes? 22 minutes was it, or something like that? I think.
Yeah, I think it was instant. All I remember is it was instant fix in the dock.
It was, yeah, but it was up there. It was just over 20.
Close to it. Yeah. You had like 15 seconds on the flag that you needed to deal with.
Yeah,
right.
But I did catch one of the. I made a mistake. I did a turn and I caught one of those freaking the Halo missiles caught me, so I did get a little bit of pen. So I shouldn't have done. That was my own fault.
And then the 915. I guess we're going to have to let people see it.
It's huge,
but it is. Yes.
The size of that thing.
When you got all those ships that are just waiting for their invitation to come join the party.
What I will try and do this time is go straight in and get those two, obviously the key bits. I want to try and find out this time is if they release on a time or if they release on the percentage of the damage you've given to the target sort of stuff. As you tick the target down and say there's like 20% left, does it reduce and sort of let the next ships come in towards you, or is it actually they start coming in at set time periods? Because that's going to make a huge difference in the way you might want to approach that target.
Yeah, normally with that type of target, you have a time, and then because you remember it's 1 million to finish the whole thing, and then you get a 250K bonus. That there's normally some flag targets in there that once you kill them, you're done.
But that wasn't the case.
Okay, well,
so I was looking for them. I was looking for them. It wasn't the case. So
okay. Well, we see. You want to go through the? Should we go through the tech first and then let you hit some of these, or do you want to hit those now?
No, tech first. That makes sense.
Okay. All right. Let's move forward. The Will Harbinger is the tier 10 fleet that will be winning. It's they have. Does everybody? I'm assuming everybody in the show gets the reference, but I
do.
The ex-CEO of Kickside that ran Battle Pirates was Will Harbin, and he would love the fact that there was. I'm so surprised, being his neighbor in Sector 1 for a couple of years. I am so surprised that this ship was not one of the first ships that ever came out in Battle Pirates. That he's, I actually sent him a Facebook message. He's not replied. To let him know that this does exist. Yes.
Yeah.
So
you have a ship named after you eventually.
Yes, after you've been gone for a couple of years, and All right, let's go through some of the details. It has a concussive damage bonus of 500, combat speed of 35, which is not the fastest. 10 weapon slots. None of them are countermeasure slots.
I know. And
so the reason that we saw that increase from 10 weapons, 10 of the limited weapons available to 12 is because normally we get 40 before the raid starts. We get 10 in pillage, 10 in the raid, 10 in the TLC, and 10 in the next pillage. I brought this up to him a couple days ago because we got 50 slots to fill.
Yes.
I thought they were going to go with, I was pushing for 15 available in this raid, and then in the mastery round of the TLC, have 3 available at each level as opposed to 2 the way it normally is. But I don't know where the 12, I haven't worked out the math with what they're going to do. Maybe they're going to have 12
beach party.
Yeah, Pegleg is looking forward to Beach Party. We can tell.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to get any in Beach Party. Sorry, but I don't.
Just throwing it out as a possibility.
Yeah. I mean, he's already, he's, it is June, so he's lost his 20 pounds, and he's been going and getting his, to the tanning salon to get all
running my 5Ks a couple times a week.
Yeah, get all buffed up to hit the beach. So, but that's going to be, we're going to have to account for that as far as, because people are not going to be happy if they have to build, rebuild 10 of them with, that had the standard weapon on,
Yeah.
because right now there's not really an option. So they need to give us, they should give us the 50 if they don't want to, have people that, are really adverse to like, well, why didn't you give this before? Now I have to build them a second time. So we'll see how they work on that. Only has 5 special slots, which is interesting. Normally we have 6. Okay, and then we have a built-in octa ordnance, which is basically it covers 360, even though 8 times 40 is only 320. From what I've heard, there's basically it looks like a pie that's been cut into 8 pieces, and the actual line for the pie is the missing 5% between each cut. So basically it's 8 different weapons that cover all around your ship. And so basically some of the methods that we've Peg, what did you call yours when you were you basically never mind.
The spin cycle.
Yeah, you basically, there's some we've seen this, with the 2 wings of the what's the ship with the 2 wings that we just used?
The Ronin.
Yeah, the Ronin. Yeah, because you can get them. The reload time changes, because it's 2 different weapons. So if you hit them with the one on the left and then the one on the right, this one appears to be 8 of them with a reload time of 3. And so, it'll be interesting to see how that works out. I haven't upgraded or updated the upgrades. It's actually a CIC module slot. At U1, projectile speed of plus 50, survival, depth charge, critical chance. And the CIC is going to be available in the FM is the assumption. If you have a mana core, you can see this. It's available in the shipyard, but pretty much only with a mana core is, unless you still have another ship that has a available CIC slot with no upgrades. Let's give it a click, Mike. Oh, okay. This is in regards to the octa ordnance. They are not affected by specials. All right, one more.
It is
click.
what it is kind of deal. Yeah.
Okay, here's the assimilation generator. This is the CIC. I'm assuming it's going to be 140,000 points in the FM. And concussive explosive survival for the ship it's equipped to, depth charge, and turn speed aura bonuses.
Can I offer one little thing up here? This thing's got a depth charge critical chance bonus that's going to stack times 5. And go back 1 slide, Mike, please. Drop the Kickside Drake piece on there too. That's covering up on it. So then you've got U3's got another 15% thing. One of the specials is got, I forget which one it is a critical chance special. It's like we're going to live on critical chance hits.
Yeah.
By the look of it.
Yeah, and then you have the R&D that's like 12 or 13.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything is about criticals. I don't know that that's a great plan, but that's what it sure sounds like.
We had a haul not too far back. Within the last, it was tier 9. I can't remember which one it was exactly. Where basically 100% of your shots were criticals. We've seen this before. I can't remember.
Was it Gladius?
No.
I'm not sure what KB's talking about with the 175, but I think he's onto the special.
175% is maybe what he's.
Well, yeah, we're jumping ahead with that. So let's move forward. Okay, there we go. The critical special. Yeah. Okay, that 175 is damage.
Right.
So it's 35 plus, what did you say? 7 times 5 is 35. So it's 70.
Yep.
And then 12 for the R&D. So we're at 82% crits.
Yep.
Okay.
Frank, you're probably right. Frank from the chat mentioned it. He thought it was a mutineer. That's probably the one.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure which one it was. Okay. All right. This is a unlimited critical special. It's a basic scale up of full metal casing that we saw in tier 8. 25% increase in critical damage. So critical damage is normally plus 100%. So this, is opposed to giving you plus 100%, it's giving you plus 175. So it's not plus 275, which we've talked about before. So just so people are clear on that. And the critical chance goes up by 5%. So yeah, it's definitely worth getting. And especially since it's a non-limited special. So anything on this one? Seems pretty straightforward.
Yep.
Okay, let's move on. All right, damage diffusion system 2. This one does have some, a little departure from the original.
It's too bad Ian isn't on the show. He could add some commentary to DDS comments because he loves damage diffusion system.
Yes. Well, it is quite the boost. People are, debate the effectiveness of how well it works. But it gives you plus 50 projectile speed. We do have dumbfire weapons, so that is helpful.
Combat speed bonus is hefty.
Yes, and plus 35, and also the splash damage reduction is we've gone from 7.5k to 20k, which is significant.
Yep.
We don't have the same evade bonus. We get half of that. I'm not sure if it stacks or needs to stack, but it's half of what we had before. So, and then we get the plus 35 bonus combat speed. And the other interesting thing is, and why I was asking if it stacked, is you can use this in assault, garrison, siege, and skirmish. So I find that to be, it's limited, but I find that part to be interesting. It really, is, whether you want to use it as a projectile speed and combat speed boost, or you find some place where splash damage reduction of 20k is, we find splash damage reduction useful. But it is interesting that it's available across all 4 classes. We haven't seen that in quite a bit.
And the armors that we got the preview here on Garrison had splash damage reduction as part of it.
Yes.
So there could be some cross-pollination of usefulness here.
Yeah. But I really think it comes down to target design, and driving, but mainly target design as far as how useful splash damage reduction is, because its effectiveness is based on the center point of the explosion that causes the splash. So if it's hard to run away from the middle, it may not be that effective because it has 0% effectiveness if it hits you straight on.
Right.
So
I think what I do like about this one, if you have got other fleets and maybe slightly older fleets and you do use this, at least you can fit this look on assault and garrison and siege and skirmish. So at least it can go across the range of fleets and not just the single ship, the skirmish or,
right,
assault or something. So, and it's tier 10, so it's obviously going to be the better one that's out there at the moment. So you may have older fleets and think, do you know what? Let me have a look at this. And if you do think, damage diffusion is a big thing for you and you like using it and you think it works, then it's an option.
Yeah.
You get 5 of them in the event and then grab the extras out of the TLCs.
Yeah, see, Hyper 30, I was saying the exact same thing. So Hyper 30 gives you a 30% evade, and obviously you get slightly better. What's the speed up on this one? Can't remember what it was.
35.
35.
35. Okay, so yeah, yes, it's a bit of a swap from one to the other, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, it is a good replacement, I think. So you're 5% up on the combat speed, be a little bit down on the evade, But if evading a particular target is not important, and you are getting splash damage reduction, which is generally quite okay or explosive in some context, but the fact that you can put it on all the fleet types, I like it. And 20% weight wise is actually okay, isn't it, for a special?
Yeah, that does all this between the projectile speed and that does all.
Yeah.
And I have not checked because I didn't really think about it until it was on the show. As far as if this evade stacks, because at 15%, it feels like it should. At 15%, it feels like it should stack with evade specials.
Let me go and I'll have a look, mate.
Okay. All right. All right. Let's. All right. The Rising Gatling gun compared to the Omen, you got like a 12 or 13% increase in damage. Besides that, there's really not much else to see here. It's otherwise identical. And any thoughts besides that on it?
Does that mean if you can't get them all, it's not the end of the world?
Well, unless you want to have the top end fleet,
right?
And you don't want to refit them. That's why I really hope they provide the ability with outside of TLOs, to get all 50 prior to the first raid. That would be great, especially if it's not in the last pillage, because the last pillage is sort of a push to get things built.
Yeah.
Okay, do you want the answer?
Yeah.
It's not good.
No,
it
does not stack.
No.
Okay.
All the other shielding ones are out, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, maybe they'll think about that again, because it makes sense for damage diffusion 1, because that has 30.
So it's being treated like Hyper 30, basically, isn't it? That's how it's being treated.
Mm-hmm. Or Hyper 15.
Well, yeah, Hyper 15 plus a bit, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right, TSM, do you want to? I think we're at the end of the slides, and I don't know if there's much to say about the Rising Gatling gun. So, unless you have some comments besides the fact that it gives you like a 12, 13% boost.
It's just the boost, and I think this one is worth going for. Whereas we were umming and ahhing about 50-50 splits on obviously the scatter and that sort of stuff, and this is pretty straightforward. I do find it interesting that we're going skirmish, raid, and then we're using a draconian ship. I just find it's a bit odd the way they've mixed the storylines up from what it used to be in the old days of old.
Well, I still don't know if it's worth going for, because we have Foreboding Seas starting June 23rd, which you'll get that for free. So that's the other place where you can earn the Rising Gatling gun. But the Omen Gatling gun that we discussed earlier, which is the limited that you can get 12 of, I would definitely get them now, because you're going to be hard-pressed to get enough to fill your fleet.
So we agree then that obviously it's draconian. It goes on the surface. It fires Gatling depth charge. It's got sonar built in, so not thermal. What else do we know as well? The range is pretty fixed. It's 93. It's pretty classic, isn't it? To be honest, that's nothing new there. There's no range extender I could see anything at all, to be honest.
No,
not for this one at all. And obviously there is no building damage built into the hull or any of the bonuses as well. So it's going to be subs and such things as well then, and obviously some explosive ship on the surface probably, I'm guessing. That's my gut feeling. That's VXP. That's what I'm expecting to see next weekend. Yeah,
that makes sense to me. It's I don't really pay attention to the factions.
Not anymore. You can't, because it's all gone skewy, isn't it? But.
I mean, it only really matters if it's like Forsaken or Draconian, because you can find some crews that boost those. Otherwise, it doesn't really make a difference to me, does it? I mean, my shipyard's leveled all the way up.
But we used to have the faction stories and that sort of stuff, and people used to like that sort of stuff, and that's also been eroded now. So
Yep.
it used to mean something,
Yeah.
Greta was doing X, and the Scourge were doing this and that sort of stuff, and Greta meant it was going to be draconian and fighting against the Scourge, which was always what we've just had now. It's bizarre. It's all gone to rat shit for that side of it, but it doesn't actually matter. You're right.
Yeah. Do you want to run through some of the targets?
Sure can.
Okay.
Stop being a grouch, you mean? Yeah, okay.
Okay. All right. I think we're done with the slides, Mike. Unless we want to replay, later on, if we want to replay Derpy saying he's going to buy me a new Garrison fleet. So, which we can never play enough, but So.
Right, so we'll do the 2 nice targets, and then we'll just go, holy moly, look at the size of this mofo for the other one, because it's just ridiculous. Right, let's start the basics then. So 174, there's one, we can probably zoom in a bit so actually people can see what I'm doing. So 174, obviously, which is the auto target. And like I said, it doesn't seem to matter on the 174, the 176, which angle you go in. I'll do it both at 3 o'clock. So 176 is down there as well. So 174, if I go in, I'll probably completely goof it now, but I did get 3 minutes or just under, wasn't it, on one of the live stream? But we'll see. Yeah, so here we go. I'm up in the top corner, look. So I'm at top left. So there is just the one already uncovered Reaver Hulk at the bottom. And obviously there's none of those Halo, sort of nasty Halo things. And there's no rush because you get a full 15 minutes to do just this here. I find basically I just drive by kite these. With this fleet, it looks like it's 4 volleys to kill one of these. And it looks like it's 5 volleys to kill one of these. It seems also the same in the 176 as well. I'm deflecting, and countering all the, it seems, the missiles on these. So I'm not really worried about trying to keep out the way of them. And if I got 2 of these items close to each other, then I'll shift click and target this one, even though I'm driving by, because I'm comfortable to turn around and then pick this one off as well. There is no particular special building in this one. So,
as I recall, some of those enemy ships didn't even move on you when you were doing the target the first time.
It didn't feel like it. And obviously this one doesn't have any of the shrouding clouds as well. So there's the, there you go, every projectile bar 1. So that wasn't too bad, was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going for a sort of bull in a china shop sort of effect.
I'm surprised the X1 weapon didn't just obliterate that turret after it had been. It looks visually really nice.
Yeah, it does look visually nice, but it doesn't serve any purpose. The Phoenixes don't seem to do a great deal because you can counter virtually every missile they fire at you. So they don't seem to do anything particular. Although I do think you have to do 3 to 4 hits to kill them, because generally, I didn't count how many hits that was, sorry.
3, I think.
Okay, so this one I'm going to do this and go up and then do that one there. I'm just carving myself off a safety zone in the target, basically. As I said on my live stream, my hand-eye coordination isn't what it used to be. I have only noticed it recently.
How's it feel to be Mike?
It's got really bad. I was doing, and I only noticed it during Bounty, and I was like, I can't control my ships. I was in someone's channel, and the guy even said that was a terrible hit, and I had to agree with him. It was awful. I can't control my ships anymore. I thought, I was quite good at it, and I'm like, no, I'm actually not. And I'm finding I'm clicking more than I used to.
Boy, it's making me feel a lot better.
And I'm having to wear glasses as well.
That's even more. It's even more better. That's a good way to talk.
I feel like I've just turned the corner, and all of a sudden I've become like somebody I didn't know I was.
I wish it wasn't that way for you.
It's weird, I found out my arms aren't long enough anymore because I have to have a book at such a distance that I actually can't read it unless I've got sort of hand extensions without glasses on.
It's amazing how quick that happens, isn't it?
It does. Yeah, so go back at the damage. The damage is actually working properly, so you can see that it's not horrendous. I'll pull this ship out before this one. I'm not saying this is the ideal route. I'm just saying it's a way to get the damage done. But that's that ship.
But you could almost kind of just take your own path and do what you want to do and stay out of the way. And
Yeah, I
how
think it's
fast
like
you wanna
it's
get it done,
this is a
right?
nice little target. I mean, obviously it's designed for autoing,
Yeah.
and the path is virtually the same. It sort of comes in, it goes up round here, and then it sort of zigzags back down around. But it's not a rush target. I don't think you have to. There's no requirement to sort of like rush. There's a couple of little bits of red on a couple of items. I foolishly triggered this thing too early last time, so it's a rush you, isn't it? Basically, it doesn't actually do anything.
And does it matter if you keep distance from those, or if you get close?
Not overly. If any of the ships are going to do any damage, this one can, but you can outrange them.
So you want to keep your distance.
This one here, there particularly, because you can just outrange it, but I'm just not very good at clicking anymore. So,
Did you buff your flagship at all for building damage to enhance the X1 special
I've
weapon?
not changed anything at all, mate. I have to say, I was particularly lazy. All I did was just put on the a full set of limited weapons and left it at that. I couldn't be bothered to do anything else.
Okay.
Being a bit idle, to be honest. So this one here, I'm going to go down here and then curve around. This one will come to about here, and I'm going to go around there, and then I'll come back down around this way here, I think, and that'll be the target finished. It seems sort of a logical-ish. So I'm going to shift click and actually make sure I do this one at least the 4 times. I haven't got to come back because that's half the problem. And I probably could have done this with a set of waypoints, to be honest.
Yeah, I like my waypoints.
That's what that will do.
Should die. Yeah, it did die. So now he's triggered. He's going to come up and see me. I've got to do it a couple more times. That's annoying. I should have hung around a bit longer for him.
Does it have that silly aura? Not silly, but that aura?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, you can't quite see it, but it's there.
Oh, I do see it. I see it.
Yeah, it's just about here. It's just gone now. So it was there.
Yeah.
There's no point going through here.
Drone aura anyway, so.
Yeah, so basically, you can if you get inside the aura, it does other things, but you can also see you in the clouds as well. So
yeah,
this is probably the better way, isn't it, to do this one? Go down here, and I can just 2, 3, 4, and dip out. That'll be instant fix, won't it? Looking at that damage there.
Yeah.
That'd be nice. Yeah.
I'll be curious to see what my X1 does because I did change my flagship to buff the special weapon some.
But like I was saying in the stream, so it does say 1% taken, look, and 1% taken. So that is slightly more because I think I had a 1% and 0% last time, but it is what it is. 4 minutes. So I'm still, so I have got more this time, but it's still free. So I still have a bit of a,
Well, 20%. 5, you're in good shape.
20% buff there. Now, whilst we've been live on the show, I actually did, whilst I was muted for a little while, I actually had a couple more goes at the 176. I found a really good path.
Okay.
But do you want to show it?
Well, if Kick changed anything just because I'm showing this, then they're arseholes. Take out that what you want. If they just let us get on with it and go, do you know what? We built you a target. You managed to find a way around it. Then fine.
That's right. That's what it should be.
So I've gone in at 12 o'clock here, but you should see that I should still start up in the top corner. I do look. So I came in at there, but I'm still over here. So both targets are the same. You have got a respite area, so you don't have to go straight in and panic straight away. Unlike the next target. So yeah, so there's a series of these, obviously, all the way round. There's only a couple that have got the bigger rings. They're all the same, but down here, look, there's a monster. Here it is, look. Down there. But I just noticed all the way up here, there is nothing. And all the way down here is nothing. And obviously, look, they're the Reaver Hulks. And that's your capital building there. The one with the, as Hefe told me in my own stream, it's the one with the blue indicator on the top of it, which I didn't even see, to be honest, because I was like, where's the building? And it's that one. So, and look at down here, look, there's no corrosive down here. So, and there's only 2 of the little Vultry missile things. So that's good news, isn't it? So why not nip around here, take out that on the way by, nip that one, drive down past here, scoot all the way along here, double back on yourself and go all the way back up again, and you've taken out all those there. And then you give yourself lots of clear path then to do this, and then you've already then uncovered every single one of these to be able to kill off the Reaver Hulk. So let's stop talking and start hitting and see if that is.
And there's only one Hulk, right?
In here, yeah. Unlike the next target. So I've shift clicked on that other one now, and I'm going to go to this one. There's no need to shift click on this one because it's going to do 4 hits anyway. The Reaver Hulk I've triggered, but I don't care. So I'm going to go right down this corner here, and then all I'm going to do is just click in this bottom corner here, but I'm going to priority target the building. I only take 2 hits to kill it. It's not much. 2, 3, 4. Okay, 3 hits.
With the corrosive, with the built-in weapon, yeah, it was gone.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just going to sit in this cloud.
The hell?
And kill that turret. Look, all right. So he's done. The next one's over here, so there's nothing's going to hit me here. He's coming in to get me. So what I'm going to do now is basically just wait till he gets a bit closer, draw him in, I'm going to go back up again. I'm killing him on the way through.
And once he gets that cloud, you can't shoot at him either. So
yeah, exactly. So I just should die, hopefully. Or he's not going to die. He's got one more life left in him. Back him up, because then you can go in there and start using these clouds, which is quite nice.
Right.
Yeah, and the only thing I might have done a little bit different when you were in that cloud is that little lag time is taking out those ships, because you could have reached those ships, couldn't you?
I could, but you're just going to watch. Well, I think his aura was covering me. I do go back down. You can take all these ships out in a minute. If he died, I'd have turned back down around. Yes, you can take that. It's really nice. The target is very nicely put together, actually. But basically, the target damage is already over. We're done. Doing it this way. I'll let him pull himself out, and I'm going to go back and then start ripping.
Yeah, unless you massively screw up, it should be.
Half of these don't seem to do anything, you know. Most of his stuff I can counter, look, and everything else is firing behind me. So he's gone, he's dead. So now I just need to consider, where am I going to go? This one. So I'm not really worried about him, because obviously it's a pen. Whilst he is going to fire at me, I'm just going to drive down here and kill it off, which then allows me to come in here and kill this one, which allows me to use this cloud in a minute. It's going to slow for a couple of seconds because I've got to get the wind up. Just checking the ring space on that one. That's what I was just doing then.
Yeah, you're sitting in the gap.
Yeah. So I could come up there, but I just obviously want to keep away from this one. There's no reason why I can't come up there and clip that one, although I'm not going to be fast enough, I think. So if I just shift click on that one there and just double check, I'm out of the aura, I'm out of the aura. So actually I can wind myself up and get myself down here. Got that one there, check the aura on that one there. Well, I'm clear, look. So that's that ship dead. I'm going to go down to this bubble here, clear this one. Same again. I'll remove that pen turret there. Fortunately, as I checked a second ago, even when you come down here, you can probably get away with it from that distance, but even when you come down here, you don't trip this ship, which is nice. I think you do trip. I don't think you can quite get in. No, you can't, can you? So I'm going to have to do a bit of a drive-by here to kill this one off. Doesn't matter. That turret will just fire behind me. Now I'm in close enough, it doesn't matter. So you can go down. So I need to clear this one, which I can do by sitting here. And I can go sit in the cloud for this one. And I can sit in that cloud for that one. That ring, yeah, fine.
Breaking down the puzzle.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm doing it slowly because just to make it obvious, but yeah, I just clicked about 15 times and I didn't need to. Why am I doing that?
The thing I noticed different about what I can see right now is that, have you gone all bloodletter?
Yes, I'm saying I've gone full power on all of them now.
Okay.
So it's just limited weapons right across, because I want to use this fleet, as I said in the live stream that I did, I want to use this fleet now for autoing when it comes to doing TLCs later on, that sort of stuff. And I find it really annoying that you have to, you know, you would have to drive if you're using the combo set. You have to drive more, sorry. So I need to be a bit cautious here, but it looks like there's going to be a gap. There is a big gap in the middle, isn't there?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the way I have not, you know, obviously because I'm not in the, I'm not in a world where the raid is started. I personally drive them much more recklessly, but I always keep moving. And
Yeah, I mean, I did when I did it a minute ago, but I'm trying to break it down so people can see why and where.
Mm-hmm. But I don't even bother to find, like, to be honest, at least in the last set of targets, I didn't even bother to find like little safe zones between, because if I'm always moving, don't double back on myself and just tear through it. These brimstones or whatever they are, they're not going to hit me. I mean, I'm going to get minimal damage from the scatter guns as long as I have my full flagship combat speed, turn speed boost, and I don't get too close to them. I'm not really going to take any damage except for penetrative damage. The corrosive damage is all gone at that point, and that's just coming from the vultures and the phoenix, or not the phoenixes. The what are we calling the tempest, or no? What are we calling the turrets with the missiles?
Vulture.
Vulture.
Yeah, vultures. Yes. I'm sorry.
Just sat in that cloud then, actually. But we're done on obviously damage now anyway, because I can take this. When I did this in the stream, it was. I'm planning to go down here. Don't I? When I did this in the stream, it was like 22 or something like that. The time, but it's certainly less than it was. I think there is a cloud you can get to this one, unless that. No, I don't think that will do it, will it?
Oh, the cloud of the
I think it will. Oh yeah, no, you would do. You would be able to, wouldn't you? Yeah, I could do it from here, couldn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do it. Okay. But this ship then, which is the last thing you can do from this cloud, it doesn't trigger. So yeah, you can get that last one from that cloud there, if you wish to. But that's considerably less because it was sort of down here-ish last time. So yeah, pen, none, corrosive 1. 6 minutes. Okay, so I'm slightly over then. I have done it. The last one I had it down to 3 minutes or something like that, so that's not too bad. We're just going to go and quickly fix that because then we're going to show the real horrible one.
Yes. Well, you do get 1,000,000 points if you complete the whole thing, and I have not yet to see this target at all. So
It's huge.
It's huge, and it doesn't sound like there's a way to shut it off either. Though that's the interesting part.
No, you can't. So you can't. Once you're in, you stay in, and also anybody that comes in with you, there's no hidey hole. Because you're just going to get smashed. Because if someone's got a really weak fleet and goes, "Oh yeah, I'm coming with you to go and play as well," it didn't go well. I mean, I still managed to do it under 25 minutes damage, but blimmin' heck. At one point, I just had to wait till the ships had stacked up, but also try to keep them away from a cloud. Because I was able to fire them if they went under.
Well, the thing was, you were able to zip around and kite them and work them into a big clump.
Cluster, yeah. And I think that's the goal. You could almost wait till they all come in and then try and group them up and then blat them, sort of stuff, But it's a massive target. It's like 2 screen sizes. I mean, I know I can zoom in and zoom out, and I'm only on 90% screen size as well. But flipping heck, wait till you see it. It's huge. And the ticker starts straight away, so we haven't even got time to stop and look at the darn things. So, right, we'll play the game. We'll go in at 12 o'clock again and see where it starts. But I'm pretty sure.
So this one, it does matter where you enter.
That's what I'm just double checking now. But I don't think. I think you start off in the bottom left corner this time. Okay. But I'll try at 12. But I think it's bottom left, and you'll notice because I'm just going to go straight into it. But you'll notice there are 2 Capitol buildings. There's one. If you look at my screen, there's one sort of around here-ish, and there's another one up around here-ish. So there are 2 that you, and then there's about 5 Reaver Hulks. Was that about right? 5,
yeah,
I think it was 5. I think it was something like that. And basically, I got to them as quick as I could once I realised that there was which buildings were which. And that's when you showed up, Heffy, and told me what to look for because I couldn't remember. I had no idea what I was looking at. I should have read the note, shouldn't I? Right, let's do it. Apparently, it's a challenge. Let's just say it's massive.
And it is co-op, right?
Yeah, of course, yeah. Although you do need to have 2 equal fleets, I think, because otherwise the poor devil that's coming in with you is going to get absolutely. Unless she comes in close to the end. That person comes in close to the end. Yeah. So have a look in the bottom corner here. Look at all these ships that are going to come in.
Okay.
Oh, actually, we can have a look because it's got 65 seconds before it starts. Then so there's one there. Look, there's one there.
Are they going to show up shrouded in a second?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, they will.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
There's another one there,
Okay.
and there must be some more coming in. Then there's got to be.
Yeah.
So
we
I've got to
gotta
go.
be
So I've got to get this one over here. Look, and I've got to get this one here. That building you can't kill. It doesn't do anything. It just sits pretty. That one you can, I think. That one does nothing. That you can't kill either. So I'm going to try and go.
So there's
sort of
two you
sneakily.
need to kill. There's 2 blue buildings.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm going to try and do first. I'm going to try and go around the bottom here, around there, through here, kill this one, drive up through, straight around, and then go back out again. That's what I'm going to try and do and see if that helps this time. I was messing around getting chased by the freaking Reaver Hulks all the time. They're annoying me. So I try and box clever. But I bet you, even if by going up over here, I'm going to trigger this one. As long as he's chasing and not. Give me any ilk, I don't care. This is the first time I've tried this, so I have no idea if it's going to work, but I made a complete hash of it last time.
Nope. Didn't trigger him yet.
Good. Trying to get that building at the same time as. Oh, it did work. That's all right. Good. Kill that. Inside that ring. Oh, nice. I can. That's quite nice. Oh, I must
Nope.
be. Whoa, move.
Oh, because you have to reload. Yeah, because you have to. They have a long reload time, and so I think you ran through it earlier.
Yeah, I must have done. Damn,
And
that's
then
cost me.
so
That's cost me. Oh, that's annoying. That is.
okay.
Anyway, but those buildings are now done, and now the hulks are uncovered, which was the goal.
All right, and it seems like they're sending ships pretty quickly.
Yeah,
I think related to the fact that you killed those 2 buildings.
So I don't think it's time related. I think it's damage related, as in what you've done in the thing.
Yeah.
I get yourself some space at the moment.
I think it's probably because you killed those 2 buildings it launched.
It could be, but I don't care. I'd rather them dead.
Yeah, no. It makes sense. It's just sort of, trying to figure out the triggering mechanisms. Could be useful on a target this large.
I'll just get these 2 quickly before he gets to me. I've got it. Good.
And with him, the big thing is to keep him out of. Yeah, this is not a good situation.
Okay. To keep him out of I was lucky
yeah.
there. I was
Yeah,
just
because you were still in there as well. Yeah, because the main thing with the Hawks, at least historically, because again I haven't hit this target, is you want to keep them out of the fog banks, and you want to be moving, and not that close to. You want to kite them because the UAVs you pretty much stop. It's their dumbfire
rocket dumbfire. Yeah, it's the dumbfire stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, that's getting to you, which it seems like you can somewhat outrun.
And use that cloud to get that thing out of the way. But really not that.
And they're not. And a lot of them. Well, okay, they were going in circles there for a while.
Yeah, I went under that cloud. I think that's what it was.
Okay.
But now they're starting to come in en masse, and it's just. I think now it's just better. Now I've cleared some space. It's just to go in an area and try and make them all hunch up together.
Yeah, but if you go into a cloud and they don't follow you, they're gonna do what?
Some of them did though.
Oh, some of them found you?
Some of them actually followed me into the cloud, and I thought, well, how did you manage to do that? Because I've got a cloud. So I've got a cloud here now.
The eyes of the Hulk?
Well, I don't know. Look, so I'm stopping here.
Okay, they're turning around. You're coming out now. Okay. No, they don't seem to see you. He sees you. I mean, the guy up top.
He will, yeah. and kill him off then. So that's what I did. Basically, I'd let them all stack up and then come and you try and find a cloud and then try and get rid of them. But
because I know in some older targets, if one of them saw you, they all saw you, but it doesn't appear to be that way here. Like they were all had a neural network that was all connecting them, and they would, if one saw you, they all did. But maybe if I don't know,
another Hulk
maybe
there. See,
there's
that was that's seven of those now. I think it's 7. That's just turned up now. That's the 7th one. I mean,
Another one coming from the bottom too.
So, and that's the last of the ships now. There's none more in the bottom corner. I can't see any more ships on the periphery now. So.
I see a red dot. It's coming in now.
Yeah, but I think it's already in.
Or it's blinking.
Because
Oh,
it's a huge.
might be that Hulk down
I
there.
think it's the Hulk. I think it's the one that I never triggered. I think it's that one. There's nothing else down. Oh yeah, there is a ship down here, but it's already in play. So
He's coming in now.
I'm going to try and stack these all up again because I think the last ones are in now. That's annoying. I clipped that flipping Halo turret because now we're not really sure how much damage. But I'm still less damage.
It's a long target, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's
There we
worth
go.
it, I guess.
Here they go. They're all stacking now.
Oh, that's beautiful.
it's definitely a high click target.
It is the way I play nowadays. But there you go. That's, I mean, look at that.
Mouse. I'm hoping it was worth it.
Then now that's, I mean, 8 out of 10 of those ships. Where did all these come from?
I got 3 more.
Where do they all come from?
4 more.
Those 2 were the 2 that came in. You said that was number 7. Then I said there was another coming from the bottom.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Have you ever dealt with them? Yeah.
I mean, I don't want these to stack personally. If I can help it, I think that's not a good idea.
They're multiplying.
They are. Maybe they're kittens.
Oh, you're not close enough.
I'm not close enough, and he's
Pulled
too
the
close.
mic. Yeah.
Right, that's probably 5 shots or 6 shots on that one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There you go. That's enough for him. If I ever use this cloud, because that's not going to help me at all. So I'm going to just have to go up and kite this one and encourage you to come down. Whoops, get out of the way of that. Get out of the way of that. Don't go near it. Don't go near it.
You sure made good use of that cloud and stuff that was right in front of the buildings back there.
Yeah, back in the top. Yeah, it does. This one's down here. He's pretty free. Hello. He's saying hello. Somebody is. That's one of our one, I think it is. I guess. Right, now I can clip him out. Go down here. I don't want him to trip and come into the cloud. I want him to see. Look, that would have been
right into it.
That would have been a disaster.
And he goes right there.
Although I think if you're in the cloud and he's in the cloud, then I think you're okay. But
Does it have to be the same cloud though?
I think it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's 5 hits on these and then they die.
I don't know. Cloudy relationships never go well.
Yeah. But the chem crasher throws off that whole, calculus as far as how many hits, because the chem crasher does a fair amount of damage to those guys.
So we're nearly there. So I want to get into that cloud to kill that, which will kill that. So I'm going to nick this out of the way, and then get that one, and then I can get that one from a cloud as well, and that from the cloud as well. So that should be it damage over, hopefully. Hopefully a splash from here to get that. What about that? Well, it matters anyway because it's just by itself. So I can use that cloud for that one.
For the ship as well.
I should be able to. Use this cloud for these two, or that as well, whatever it is. It's really annoying. I just click that one. Done. Just that one ship and that one thing, isn't it? Phoenix, and then the. Yeah, so just got to click that one time. That's frustrating, but anyway, not to worry. But concept-wise, it's okay, isn't it? So I still think it was worth going up there and going around and getting those out of the way.
Seems like it.
And you
But
had
there was
what,
one
about 5 minutes left on your clock?
yeah, about
minutes left, I
5.
think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously, I've taken the pen. That's my own fault. I shouldn't have done that. But there's a bit of corrosive on there as well. So what are we doing? 20 minutes maybe? Or it doesn't tell you how to flip in because it's a set
27?
process.
You have to do it there. Yeah.
20, 30. Oh, God, see there? Yeah, my own fault. So that's about an extra 10 minutes, isn't it? Roughly for that. So it's 22 minutes last time, and that was actually a better run. It's just apart from I got that clip. So, okay, that's going to cost me 2 or 3 minutes back in dock. But
Yeah. As
Maybe
far
a
as the thing, I mean,
at least
do you
target.
remember? Do you recall when you got clipped? I mean, because basically
Yes.
the thing that I've always, like I was saying earlier, is like constantly move forward. Don't double back on yourself.
I got pinged in that top right corner. That's what it was. I was too worried about. I should have just driven past the Reaver Hulk, and I doubled back, and then that's when it clipped me. No, it was when I was close to that. I remember that I was close to it, and I thought I was going to kill the building, and I didn't think I was in the range. And then I shift clicked on the Halo missile, and then by the time I'd gone back to my ship, the Halo missile had already fired. It was in a big long arc, and it hit me, and I didn't even notice it. So that's my own fault for sitting there trying to kill the scattergun. Yeah, it was in the top. It was around this sort of area up here, but and they're painful. Yeah, and that proves the point. Those things are a nightmare. If you're going to do anything, is never stay still.
Yeah, never stay still, and never double back on yourself. Those are the two things.
So I didn't double back. I did sit still. So there we go. So that's 7 minutes for that one, and so it looks like it's 7 minutes across the board, which would be about right, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Oops. Idiot. Well, it could be a lot worse, couldn't it? I'm going to do one quarter.
No, it's
And you were doing all these with no crew.
I really wish that I might do another one.
Yeah, so Steelheads would be the crew.
Should we put it on? See what happens.
Well, I think it appears that driving makes more of a difference than the crew does.
I think so. But it is nice that it's actually showing now, even on this one, that 50% corrosive defense is actually there now.
Yeah, because that seems like the best crew, besides maybe a speed. I mean, I don't know how much a speed crew would, like Silent Hunters. I don't think that's going to make that big of a difference, do you? Because it seems like you might outrun things a little bit better.
But not a great deal. But I don't think you want to outrun some stuff. It's nice to have the ships grouped up and then just have them slightly chase you. So you're splash, splash, splash. Sometimes I think going fast is not beneficial. Yeah, I mean, you might want a better splash crew, maybe, so you can splash more of those ships once you've bunched them up. But they did seem to die pretty quick, didn't they? To be honest. Yeah.
It's I mean, probably the best of the squads is probably going to be the demo squad, but that's not a cheap one. So if you want to run through that one again, I have put the link in the right-hand side in case anybody wants to join the show.
Yeah, can do. We can have a little go. I'm just going to start building this hull quickly. He's got one started. Oh, look at those. I never got those. That's because you had to join via some other login method, didn't you, to get these things?
I didn't even see those. Yeah. There's like Armor Games.
Kong Game. Yeah, that's right. The Armor Games site. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't even think what I'm looking for. What am I looking for? That hole there.
What was the extra sea wolf down there? There was 2 sea wolves.
That was the snow wolf, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was snow wolf, which is redded out now, isn't it? Because you only have one. Sorry, skirmish. Yeah, that's the snow wolf, isn't it? Yeah.
Okay. guess it's been a while since I looked all the way.
Doing their, yeah. So that's where the CIC obviously sit. Anyway, not to worry. What we got here? 415, 15. That works fine. That's okay. Ooh, don't do that. You click the wrong button then.
Don't
All right.
fall into that trap.
Hey, KB, how are you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. And yourself?
Oh,
Hey,
pretty
buddy.
good. The
G'day,
mice aren't overrunning you?
No mice here.
Okay. I hear the Murray cod are loving them.
Oh, yeah, it's not allowed to fish for Murray cod either.
You're not allowed to what, fish?
Closed season.
Oh, well, what I'm saying is they're people are catching them, and they have like 10 mice in their bellies, and then they're spilling out their mouths.
Yeah, that could be quite right.
That's a hell of a visual.
They shouldn't be.
I was going to say that sounds delightful.
Catching them anyway.
Yeah.
As far as I know, there's a closed season on the Murray cod. So
Okay, yeah, they're doing real well right now with all these mice that they're eating, and they're not. They look nothing like cod, and they're not cod, but they look like a combination, like a freshwater combination between a largemouth bass and a grouper. I never ran across, I never heard of them until this whole mouse thing in Australia, because it's, why would I? But
For those viewing, the show has taken a very different turn all of a sudden.
I was going to say that's gone into randomness now, isn't it?
yeah.
Well, it's sea related, isn't it? So ish.
Yeah. We're not going to see any Murray cod in this target, but I'll let you continue.
Right, I'm going to do the same again, but I'm not going to stop this time to try to take that thing out. I'm just going to drive by. I still think the route was okay. It's just my methodology was not the brightest. So someone try and have a good count on the Reaver Hulks and how many there are, because I still can't work out exactly how many. It's more than 7, isn't it?
Well, I'm going to try to count them here.
Right, so I'm going to go up and clip that one again as well to get rid of it. I thought I would have. I'm going to go up and clip this one. Turn and take up the building, going up and up and up and over here, and I'm going to clip that on the way through. I'm not going to clip that one, I'm going to clip the building. It's firing behind me, which it did. There we go. Right, so they're all uncovered now.
And you didn't take the missile hit.
Not this time. That wasn't the best path mark, but there we go. Okay, so I'm going to clear this one out the way next. See, go with that scatter. I don't need to drive around there, I can just sit still. So I'm clear up here now, aren't I think? It's the next closest one, down there and down. Oh, it's one, there is one there though. Ships don't get any higher, so get in there and get this gone. What do you do with getting rid of that? You hear me clicking like a lunatic.
Actually, I don't hear the clicks at all.
All right, that's because I'm using the NVIDIA broadcast now. It's one of the things I've turned off, is make sure that you don't hear keyboard click. See, he can see me. That's annoying. I just wanted to get rid of this area. I'm trying to get this one out of the way. That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, because then you can use that pocket you just went through. Very
Yeah, I can
effectively.
use the pocket. Yeah, exactly. And that's what, because those ships are en route very soon, aren't they? If I can
Yep.
bring them and drive down around and go back up. Let's see if I can do that. Target him. I'm inside the
Although
payload.
you're still safe in there.
I am. You're right.
Just don't do something foolish and turn slowly into it.
And I don't want to clip that, so I want to go north and do it that way. Watch that ring, so I can't stop.
Okay, so then you got one Hulk coming in, two Hulks coming in.
Did I do enough? Did I kill it? Did I kill it? Did I kill it? Yes. I can't use it now because he's there. Let's splash onto him though. Oh, another one coming. Let's go down and get rid of this one, and that's everything away from that top end. Oh, he's dead. Right, so the next one is just down here now, and that's right the way below. So I've got this whole upper area to play with now.
That's where you had drawn everybody up to before.
Don't really mind the Phoenixes, they're okay.
Well, you can outrange the other ones.
Yeah, if you can actually click in the right places, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to come down here and clip and go through, I think. Range, I can inside his range. I can clear up some of this stuff now. To be honest, we're sort of like in a reasonable position now, aren't we?
Yeah.
Drive up here, pick him up. He's inside, so I've got no choice, but I'm going to get fired on by them.
I'm still trying to figure out the cost benefit of stopping in those spots when things are chasing you. It seems to increase your risk factor because you're losing your turn speed and combat speed at the same time, which is useful as far as outranging any sort of corrosive guns that there he goes. I don't know. On Friday, do you think stopping in places is going to be? Well, you're probably going to know the safer spots to stop on Friday.
Yeah, it's just nice to know where they are, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, here it makes sense because nothing's going to.
This is obviously where you get the advantage, I think, of the. See, that weapon's amazing, isn't it? The power of that weapon on that.
Yeah, when they're standing
flagship,
still.
that flagship is amazing.
Yeah, well, as long as they're stopped, because their projectile speed sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the only thing that can boost them is building damage, and I've been tempted to.
I did.
You did it? Which one did you go? Siege targeting 3?
I actually went even a little bit different on the convention because the flagship was being targeted so much. I've got corrosive battery in that slot.
Have you? Interesting. Yeah. I wouldn't have thought. No, I didn't think about
Only
that.
on the flag. But yeah, I got that in there. You came from the other side on that.
Yeah, I did. I didn't want to treat that whole. They can fire behind me for a little bit. I'm not that bothered. I should be bothered because we're trying to show how little damage you can take, but I get bored very quickly.
You're doing better this time around.
Yeah, what a difference! Just because one single, I can leave him. No, let's not leave him. Let's get rid of him. Let's do it from the top. He should turn and come up this time, shouldn't he? that. 5, 4, 5 down to him. Pick him off.
I guess.
So I may as well just come around here, straight across.
You don't suppose this target is variable on how many hulks you get?
Seems less this time, doesn't it?
It is. You've killed 4. That's your 5th one right there. I've been keeping track.
There was definitely more. Either that or I would just imagine it. But I could have sworn there was more last time.
Huh.
Beach, is it in there? But there's no point running from those because you're either going to evade the missiles or you're not going to evade the missiles. It's the last ship? I think it is. Target's done. 6 minutes left. One ship left, isn't it?
It's a lot of time for a million.
Yeah, and that's the thing, isn't it? It is a lot.
You're almost a minute faster than last time, but you're dinking around here at the end. So
Yeah, I'm not sure what you're doing at this point. Oh, trying to get a.
So invade that cloud of work. What? Yes. Yeah, I didn't need to because it's just a Phoenix. But hey, right, there we go. Done. It's huge, isn't it? Look at the size of the thing. Yeah, so you can't kill that building and you don't do anything over there. So that's better. Look, no pen now.
Yep.
And then 1%. So that's more acceptable, isn't it?
There we go.
hey,
Look at that.
That's better.
the man, the myth, the legend, right there.
That's better. Team effort. Team effort. Good. Right. There you go. That's enough sharing. Stop sharing. That's enough of that rubbish.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else we should be discussing? And is anybody that doesn't have X1, U3, U2, how are you guys faring in these targets? If you're still, are you getting, somewhat similar results? And how are these targets treating you? And KB, since you've joined recently, any more thoughts on things?
No, not really. I've still got a couple of hours to go before I can hit any targets. So got nothing there.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess we'll end things at this point. And
The only thing I'd noticed with the Harbinger is obviously with the no countermeasures, the anti-torps aren't going to work.
you can't put them on, yeah.
Yeah, so normally skirmish is subs, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the theory is you're probably going to take some concussive damage, one would imagine.
Yeah, we're gonna have to wait for the we're gonna have to wait for the preview server, but yeah, I mean, it is interesting. I do find it interesting that we see a fairly low evade number and less specials. We've gone from 6 to 5. Which,
I presume maybe that's because of the CIC, possibly.
Oh, we had 6.
So they're counting that as a special.
Hey, Smart Bart.
Hey, I just have a curiosity of the damage diffusion system too, I believe.
You have what with it?
Okay, the damage diffusion system too, the new component for the skirmish hall.
Yeah.
If it fits in assault, garrison, and everything, it would be perfect for the new garrison because of the projector speed. It can combine with the C9 capstone engine from the Everest, so you will have a 90% projectile speed.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that we looked up during the show that made me a little bit leery of using it on, because we have not seen what the next Everest is going to look like, is the lack of evade. and we know it's going to be a missile based ship or a penetrative based ship. But there's somebody out there that's hoping that it's going to be UAVs, which I'm not really sure how that changes anything, but it's
it could be the changing UAV, changing like the Skyfire carrier in the previously assault.
That was a great ship, wasn't it? Skyfire carrier was great fun. Yeah, I enjoyed that.
Yeah. I'm just. It looks like it has at least a niche ability, but I'm not certain. The low evade, and you can't really. You can't. TSM looked into it and during the show, and he could not add more evade above the 15%. So it's.
Unless at X1, 2, or 3 you get more evade on the new Garrison ship, then yeah, that would make sense. And like this skirmish, this next hull, what if the flagship is actually going to come with 4 countermeasure slots? Because we don't know what the flagship's going to be looking like yet, so that could have countermeasure slots on that. So
it could probably has the countermeasure because the original ship doesn't have any countermeasures of the skirmish one, the Harbinger.
Exactly. Yep, exactly. So it's still a bit up in the air at the moment, isn't it? Although clearly we're not going to have any countermeasures whatsoever for the VXP target, and the VXP target seems to be, it has been the last 2 months, a pretty good indication of the low-level target for the raid. So we'll give us a bit of a hint.
I made a little bit of math with the depth charge critical chance, and if you can actually pass the 100%, it can be 102.
102% what?
On the critical
chances of the depth charge, you can pass the 100%.
How would you do that again? I'm sorry.
Okay,
stack things, yeah.
Yeah, the stacking ones is additive. It's like your +1 + 1 = 2 in this case.
Yeah. I'm familiar with additive, but
unfortunately,
how would you stack to get above 100?
Well, the component for the Harbinger is 35%. With the 5 CIC of the new skirmish hull will be another 35, so it will be 70. The U3 upgrade has 50%, so it will be 85. And you have the linear component of the impact overdrive that increase another 50. It will be like 100%.
That'd be interesting.
And with the 12% of the RNG of the part, it will be actually 112% critical chance.
I'm still going through this and trying to figure out. There's 35 from the Reckoning ammo casings. There's 12% from the R&D labs. And then there is, so we're at 35 plus 12. Well, that's 47. And then you have the U3 where you're going to get 15 times 4, or no, 15 times. Yeah, I guess we don't know what's happening with.
Let me explain slowly if I can. Let me explain slowly if I can. Okay. The Reckoning one is 35%. Just put 35 in there, in any paper or in the desk of the computer.
Mm-hmm.
Then the 5 CICs of the skirmish, the Harbinger, I don't know what was the name, but it would be 35% extra. It would be 70 plus the 50% of the the impact overdrive of the Midner chance. It would be 50.
Wait. The 50 is the one that I'm having an issue with. Where's the 50 coming from?
There are two. The 50% is one of the U3, and the other 50% will be
50,
for the
15 or 50.
15.
Okay.
15.
That's where I'm getting the confusion. Is
Okay, don't worry.
Sorry, go ahead.
Sometimes I don't have a good pronunciation.
Oh, you're
No,
doing
no,
fine.
it's okay. I'm just.
Okay.
It just sounded like 50. Okay.
Okay. 15% it would be for the U3 upgrade, and the
Mhm.
other 15% it would be for the Tier 9 Meteor Tech Impact Overdrive.
Hmm.
That would be 30. So 70 plus 30, it would be 100.
Yeah. So you're doubling. I think we figured out. Somebody said it was gave us the fleet because we've had fleets in the last year which had over 100%, or right at 100%, if not more. So it's not
Like the,
completely
like the
unusual.
mistake of the bait mistake. That you can actually have 105 bait.
Yeah, but I don't know if that 105 is going to be better than 100.
No, it's just I don't know if there was a mistake. You can actually get it to 100% or even beyond 100%.
It's
Yeah,
nice the fact you can.
I just don't know that it's a mistake because it gives us options on how to build as far as.
And the other chance or the other option you can use instead of the impact overdrive is you can use the Bushido Barry. You can add a splash damage reduction
Yeah.
and 8% more damage, concussive damage.
Yeah, but what are you losing by not
You are
using?
just losing.
Because remember, we only have 5 specials, not 6.
You are just losing 8% damage in difference. You are gaining 8% damage, but you're losing the 50%, the 15 of the critical chance.
Okay, well, I think we're gonna go. I think we're gonna go to the after show at this point, so everybody can hold on. The link is on the right hand side, and we'll see you on Friday. And thanks for showing up, everybody. And we will see you then.
Yep.